How to play board game Fire Brigade. Fire Brigade is a cooperative game. You and your fellow players are members of the Fire Brigade. Your goal is to save citizens by rescuing and transporting them from endangered areas to the hospital. At the same time, you want to prevent buildings from burning down and keep the fire contained by preventing the spread of a raging inferno. This game can be played in two modes. In normal mode, you try to save as many citizens as you can, while in expert mode, you must save all of the citizens or you lose the game. When playing for the first time, remove all the tokens and other pieces from the punch boards. Place stickers on the wooden vehicles. To prepare the board, take as many pieces as there are players and put them together in the center of the table in any configuration, as long as each piece is connected to at least two other pieces. Take a scenario card according to the number of players and chosen difficulty. In our example, we have chosen the hard scenario for 3 players. Put pieces together and create the landscape. Place the hospital hex on any hex with the number 2. The scenario card tells you how many buildings and fire tokens you should place on which hexes. 2 rules apply. First, there should be at least 2 buildings and 2 fire tokens on each of the pieces on the board. Second, if possible, buildings have to be at least 2 hexes away from the hospital. In our example, we have to place 1 fire token on 2 hexes with number 1 and 2 hexes with number 5, 1 fire token on 1 hex with numbers 2 and 3, and 2 fire tokens on hex with number 4. We then place the buildings on the board in the same manner. Give each player a squad card, along with the matching fire truck miniature and starting hex. Assign 1 random Firefighting Ability card and 1 random Utility Ability card to each player. That gives each squad unique abilities to achieve given goals easier. Shuffle event cards and motivation cards separately and put them face down near the board within easy reach of all players. Place 2 fire dice, broken fire truck tokens, fire tokens, Inferno tokens, and the water screen token nearby. Place a citizen token next to each building on the side without the green edge. That means that the citizens have not been evacuated yet. Each player chooses their starting position by placing their starting hex at the edge of the board, and on it, their fire truck miniature. The player who has seen firefighters in real life most recently becomes the first player and receives the first player token. The game has multiple rounds, each following the same procedure. Each round is divided into 3 phases. In our example, we can see the situation after a few rounds has already been played. Fire spreading phase. The first player rolls the 2 fire dice. The sum of both numbers determines which hexes will be additionally affected by fire this turn. The fire intensifies on hexes with a number equal to or greater than the rolled number. In this example, the rolled number is 4. We have to therefore add new fire tokens with the orange side face up on already burning hexes with the numbers 4 or 5. Then the fire spreads. Place 1 new fire token with the orange side face up on every hex that is not yet on fire, but is adjacent to any already burning hex and has the number equal to or greater than the rolled number. In this example, 4 or 5. Note that no more than 1 new fire token can be added on a single hex each round. Never add fire tokens on the hospital hex or hex with Inferno token. When all new fire tokens have been added, flip them from the orange side to the red side. If any hex contains 4 fire tokens, replace them with an Inferno token. Buildings on those hexes have burned to the ground and the citizens are lost. Place these burnt buildings flat on the board and remove the citizens from the game. Fire trucks that are already on those hexes are broken and therefore unable to move or perform any other actions. Place a broken fire truck token on them. Event phase. Then comes the event phase. The first player draws the top event card and reads it out loud. In this example, the event is Strong Wind. It instructs us to add 1 fire token on 2 hexes with number 1. At the bottom of the card, you can read an interesting fact about firemen and fire. The last phase is the player's actions phase. The players take actions one after another in clockwise order. When it's their turn, each player can perform any combination of 3 basic actions and any number of free actions, even repeating the same action multiple times. Basic actions players can choose 3 actions from. Move the fire truck to an adjacent hex in any direction. Fire trucks cannot move over or end movement on Inferno hexes and mountains. Fire trucks cannot end their movement on hexes with another fire truck, but can move over those hexes. Remove 1 fire token from your own or an adjacent hex. Use Firefighting Ability. In this example, we can use the Long Distance card to choose 2 hexes in a straight line and remove a fire token from each of them. Using Utility Ability. In this example, we can use the Move Out card to evacuate citizen on an adjacent space. If a hex with a fire truck gets the Inferno token, the fire truck breaks. It can be saved only by another player extinguishing at least 1 fire token. Then we have to use our first action point to repair the fire truck. Evacuate citizens by putting the citizens token with the green edge facing up on your starting hex, which represents a fire truck with 3 available spaces. When citizens have been evacuated, no additional actions are needed to move them. On their turn, player can perform any number of free actions. When the fire truck comes to the hospital hex, it drops off all the citizens it was transporting. Place the rescued citizens tokens on the hospital hex and take 1 motivation card from the top of the deck, no matter how many citizens tokens you rescued. Each player can have only 1 unused motivation card at any time. The gained motivation cards can be used. In this example, we used the card with which we removed 2 fire tokens from any hex on the board. The citizens can be dropped off temporarily and picked up after being dropped off. Players can pass at any point of their turn. After all players have performed their actions, the first player token is passed clockwise to the next player. In normal mode, the game ends in a victory when the last citizen on the board is rescued, even if any of the citizens were lost. The game ends in defeat if all the fire trucks are broken at the same time. In the expert mode, the game also ends in a defeat if a citizen token is lost in the Inferno. At the end of the game, we can check how well we did. Points are awarded for every building without any fire tokens on its hex. 5 points for a small building, 10 for a medium, and 20 for a big one. If a building is burned down in the Inferno, the same amount of points is lost. In this example, there are 4 medium buildings and 2 big buildings on hexes without any fire tokens, which adds up to 80 points. A small building burned down, which gives us -5 points. 2 Inferno tokens gives us -2 points. Altogether, we get 73 points. You can compare this score to the score table. For every lost citizen, we lose an additional star, which brings us to 3 stars altogether. We will try to beat our score next time. Challenge yourself and learn new things about firemen and fire in the new cooperative game, Fire Brigade. Don't worry if the setup takes a bit longer the first time you play the game. The next time you play it, it won't take more than a few minutes.